Hello, everybody, and welcome to Steve's Place.
I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
We are the Dirt Road Men. Steve's got nicer digs than me. I do like the color scheme of my new place. It's just good to be back home, ain't it?
It is.
Doesn't matter what you put in front of us, man. It could be the best whiskey in the world. We will still take a sip of Wild Turkey and do that. And we do it when we're not on camera, too. Don't think it's just for you. It's legit. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the best.
Jimmy and Eddie know what the fuck they're doing.
Speaking of whiskey, we thought we would do a quick video on 5 cool facts of whiskey for you.
Hey.
I'll let you go first as long as you remember the answer to that question.
I was going to ask you.
What?
What is whiskey?
Oh, look at this guy. Alright, so whiskey is essentially distilled grain alcohol aged in charred oak barrels for X amount of time. I think that's the broadest definition of whiskey I can give you. It does have to be at least 40% or 80 proof, and I believe there's a cap on that as well at I think 160 proof or 80%. So,
I think you're right. Huh.
I'm surprised Stag Jr. hasn't towed closer to that line yet. But
we're fucking trying, man.
whiskey is generally going to be a mix of whatever grains are convenient to whatever country they're from. Fermented, then distilled, and then aged in some charred oak barrels. There are, however, some different categories of whiskey. Might you be able to let us know what those are?
Oh, man, there's quite a bit. So the biggest... God, there's so many... they categorize different regions. We'll touch over those real quick. There's Scotch. Which, comes from Scotland.
It's probably the most straightforward based on its name.
There's Irish whiskey.
I was wrong.
There's bourbon, which is American whiskey. There's other stipulations on that.
We'll get there.
And then there's Japanese whiskey, which is basically just Scotch made in Japan.
With your rules.
Yeah. And then...
You're missing 2.
Am I?
Uh-huh.
Canadian whiskey.
I was hoping you were going to say that last so I could be like, it's okay, it doesn't really count.
Oh.
It's alright. We have had
That's
at least one good Canadian whiskey, so.
India just put out their own whiskey.
Holy shit. It's ironic because this is the one we've reviewed the least, but there is a bottle behind us. What did you miss, good buddy? Tell you what, this is the only kind of whiskey that will give you shredded biceps like that. Kyle.
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse.
No, Rye. Son of a bitch.
And we just got banned from YouTube. It don't matter anymore. Anyway.
Oh, really? Oh,
No.
Rittenhouse. Oh, gotcha. So how did I forget rye whiskey?
I don't know, man, because
My shit.
I would rather have rye than Canadian or whatever's coming out of
Well,
India.
okay, so you,
I can't say that. I haven't tried anything coming out of India.
what's funny is what's coming out of Canada is rye whiskey for the most part.
It is.
It's just shitty rye whiskey.
And the original American whiskey was actually rye, not bourbon. Because in the Northeast colonies, rye grew better than corn. Excuse me.
Now, on a legal standpoint, you can take your... Then you have flavored whiskeys. You flavor it and
And those are actually allowed to go down to 35%. We don't need to overcomplicate this for them, my guy. But there's a lot of categories and subcategories of whiskey.
That's why you're like, what are those categories? And I'm just like, oh, that's a lot. I should have.
I wanted a simple answer.
Okay. There's American and not American. That's about all you need to know.
That's a little too simple. But I'm actually smoking faster than you today. This is weird.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I've had a cigar.
Yeah, well, we haven't been filming for like almost 2 months.
That's
Anyway.
not fair.
So, you might be wondering, how did whiskey start? I was really waiting for you to work up to that, but you dropped the ball on that one.
I'm really good at dropping balls, man.
One might say he's genetically predisposed. So, whiskey as it exists today actually started because people started distilling grain alcohol for consumption, obviously. But to transport it, the easiest method of transport was in barrels. So they would transport it in barrels, and then they noticed that some of these barrels that would get shipped long ways and it would sit in the barrel for a long time, it would actually cause a positive flavor change. So over time, they started intentionally leaving it in the barrels for a while to add flavor, which also gives it the color because it goes in clear. But that's a simple point of how it started.
So when it first started, they were probably just like, okay, let's just throw it in these barrels, right? We're thinking about, some of them probably got thrown in wine barrels.
Yeah.
Think about
It was just a happy accident.
you just had a glass of this alcohol that has sat in a wine barrel for like 18, 20 months crossing the ocean or traveling, doing what?
Yeah.
And you take a big old drink of that, and then you're like,
Crossing the
well,
ocean especially, it's gonna get shaken through.
mm-hmm. And then you try another one. That was an old fish fucking barrel.
Oh.
Is that you, Janine?
Now, most whiskey is made. I really tried to just roll past the joke.
You already took the kids. What more do you want?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Damn it. It's alright, I've got more time to edit videos now. It's... Jesus. Alright, God damn it. I don't know what I was gonna say. But
We're talking about barrels and whiskey.
oh, most barrels now are used barrels. Most commonly used bourbon barrels, because bourbon, one of the subcategories, has a stipulation that requires it to be a new charred oak barrel, and it is the only one that has that. All of the others are allowed to use used barrels, and that often means that they are being aged in used bourbon barrels.
You're wrong.
Almost all of the others, you dick.
Right.
Yeah. Which is why Canadian whiskey is separate from rye whiskey, because they all... Americans made the laws around rye whiskey, and the rye whiskey law that is respected is they also have to be new charred oak barrels. We're not big rye guys, if you haven't noticed. In fact, I can count the list of ryes I actively buy on one hand, and really one finger. Wild fucking turkey. So, I do like Rittenhouse rye though. It's actually really good. And we said that long before we got to make that joke. You know what? I do have Willet Rye up there too, which is another amazing one. I've been kind of drinking it sparingly because it's almost gone. What?
We should take some Rittenhouse rye, right? Okay. Mix that with Monster.
Kyle. Kyle Rittenhouse. We just created a cocktail, didn't we? Son of a bitch. I'm editing that out. Alright, now. Apparently he he lives in a state where it's legal for him to drink under 21 as long as his parents are with him.
God damn.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Ooh. You can in New Orleans.
I know at least, I don't know about the entire state of Louisiana, but I know in Nolens you can.
Alright. So, one thing about whiskey, you may have noticed it if you have subtitles on for this video. Whiskey can be spelled 2 different ways, and you might be looking at the subtitle and thinking that's the wrong way. There is a right way, and there's a wrong way. However, there are 2 common ways to spell it. What are those? Good buddy.
Okay, so whiskey, I feel like I'm in the spelling bee. Whiskey. Please tell me I didn't fuck that up.
You didn't.
Okay.
I didn't
and
actually expect you to spell it all the way out, but hey.
Okay, and then there's the wrong way, which is Whisky.
Which is actually the original way, but...
You can have it with
Or
an E
Mac.
or without an E. With the E is typically found in America and Ireland.
I think the Canadians have the E on there too, don't they? No, they don't. They normally don't. Some of them do. I think
Yeah.
Pendleton's does.
And on that, some bourbons even don't use the E.
Maker's Mark, for example. We have a bottle right behind us.
I think that was in case nobody really liked it. They could just blame it on that.
Yeah. Maker's Mark is delicious though, particularly the 101, which
Oh, fuck yeah.
I can't even find another bottle of now.
Oh, fuck her here.
The Japanese spell it without an E as well.
Yeah.
But generally, the with an E or without an E is regional, but there are people that violate that in almost every region, except Scotland. The Scots get kind of high and mighty about their whiskey, but to be fair,
To be fair.
they do have an advantage when it comes to whiskey making. They've been at it longer.
Oh, fuck yeah. And then Irish whiskey, in Ireland, they spell it with the E, like purely as a fuck you to Scotland.
Mm-hmm. And one might argue that whiskey actually started in Ireland as well. I understand there's some debate, but the story I know of whiskey, it pretty much started in Ireland.
Oh, well, maybe I had that backwards.
The name whiskey pretty much started in Ireland
Oh, okay.
because Uscabitha is where whiskey comes from.
Yeah, I'll lift there. Hey guys,
Don't cross this line.
hold your hand out. Yeah, it looks a little limp.
I didn't even know how to respond. I was the guy filleting a cigar a couple of videos ago, so...
You did lure me into your bedroom with whiskey and cigars.
Alright, now you're pushing it. Alright, anyway,
Nope. So, number 5.
let's talk about some fun whiskey history. Can you think of anything?
Yeah.
Sure?
Nope.
That's cool. I got one, and he's gonna be pissed that I stole it.
Was it the Whiskey Rebellion?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the only thing that popped into my fucking head.
So say it. Tell the story. What is the Whiskey Rebellion?
Americans, newly founded America, got fucking pissed. We just fought a giant fucking war over taxes. Among other things, but taxes. And then now they're getting taxed on their hooch.
Yeah, George Washington passed a whiskey tax.
And they got pissed. Started fucking shit up. So Washington himself loaded up his testicles onto his majestic white steed and led an army into
Go ahead. I just had an idea. Go.
tell them to fucking quit. You are represented now. Represented?
Represented.
That one. So this is not a taxation without representation. So knock it the fuck off. Quit burning down your houses.
This is my cognitive dissonance with the taxation is theft statement too.
Mm-hmm.
Because George fucking Washington rode into battle in order to impose taxes.
Yeah.
But maybe I should take taxation as theft a bit further. Income tax is theft,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Some of the others are too, but income tax for sure. Anyway, the coolest thing I think Washington did there, though, was he quelled the Whiskey Rebellion,
Mm-hmm.
and then he prosecuted no one. He was like, look, you guys lost. Pay your taxes, but go the fuck home.
Yeah.
George fucking Washington, my guys. If you haven't gathered, outside of whiskey or cigars, our number one biggest passion is pretty much America. As it was founded and the ideas that founded it, not necessarily as it exists at this moment. Although it does still have a lot of great things, and nobody else can really step toe to toe with us and do dick right now. So there's that. The idea that I had was we should get the George Washington Christmas picture and hang it right there. Because I've been
Oh.
wanting to hang something right there, and I wasn't sure what we should hang. I think that would fit perfectly.
That would be fucking sick.
Because we got the whiskey, the cigars are off camera, but that's because I tried putting them back there and it just looked like too much.
Yeah.
So, I think that would complete the set well while we're here. Even if I do move in like another 30 to 45 days. God, I'll hate that.
Yeah, I bet.
Another bit of fun whiskey history that I think is cool to tell you about is Japanese whiskey.
You got some notes.
How did you skip that out?
I do.
So, Japanese whiskey was essentially started in Scotland. A Japanese man went to Scotland, studied under a Scottish distiller, and married a Scottish woman, had some Scottish kids, and went back to Scotland with his distilling practices. They adopted. I'm pretty sure they had their own kids too, you fucking cunt. They just like the adopted one better, shut up. I don't know, man. Anyway, they went back to Japan and started what has become all of Japanese whiskey, really. They started Suntory, and then they left what became Suntory, and started his own distillery after that. So, I think that's a cool bit of whiskey history that shows how Japan can take something that's a practice in another culture and turn it into its own specific art form, and I think that's very cool about Japan. Anime was cool for a little while until I started exploring anime a little more, and Tentacles showed up, and then I got upset. You all got weird after you got nuked. Anyway.
Oh my god, you brought up the new. They even took dying into like a whole majestic fucking beautiful art form.
Jesus Christ! Oh, that's hard. That's rough.
Okay, so, you know, dying by sun. The way they do,
Imagine if they worshipped the sun god.
Oh shit. What did we do wrong?
I'm glad we don't have Japanese viewers, or if we did, we just lost them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Suck it.
You're right. I don't know what they call it, harikiri, when they kill themselves, they mix up their guts.
Seppuku.
Seppuku. There we go.
Urikiri.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, dude.
Anyway, yeah, they mix up their guts with their tiny little katanas.
Tatas.
Whatever. It's baby katanas. That's what they give their children upon birth.
Anyway,
He's the Seppuku.
I think that kind of buttons up our whiskey video now that we've taken almost every video we've made today and shit on Japan in said video.
Okay, but Japan really makes some amazing whiskey. They got a lot of really cool shit. They got a beautiful culture, and the fucking Toyota Supra's amazing.
They also have a very nationalist culture that I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
Their trucks are made primarily in Alabama, and they actually employ more Americans in the making of their truck than any of the other American trucks. So there's that.
And if you want to go further back on the Japanese pickups, if you go to where they were still made in Japan,
Oh shit. Those sons of bitches will take a fucking nuke and keep getting.
We just tried to pay them some lip service after shitting on them for 4 videos. And this is how you wrap that up?
It wasn't supposed to be like a.
It wasn't supposed to be like this.
No, like when
That's how I feel when we shoot almost every video.
when I thought of that, it was just they're fucking tough. They can handle nuclear bombs being dropped upon them. And then I realized, like, as it was about to come out of my mouth, Bud, we're talking about Japan. We've been talking about nuclear bombs on Japan for the past hour.
It's over, Japanican. I have the high ground. Till we see again, I'm Zach.
I'm dead.
We are the Dirt Road Band. Hey everybody, if you like this video, hit a like or dislike, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you really like what we're doing, check us out over on Facebook where we post every day.